and this SCV not doing anything, just dancing around right now. He is on strike, I guess. And now, actually, Ver has his third base. We do see that Valkyrie is taking the gold base. So once again, he will have a gold base while his opponent only has a blue base. And now these SCVs have been going after the rocks because this drop is doing huge damage. And the worker count is actually going to go down just a bit. And again, pulling back right in time, these Marines might actually be able to intercept this drop, losing a lot of units there. Not what you want, so not cost efficient. Once again, 119 to 145 supply, and that can't be a good feeling for Valkyrie, knowing that that third base has been up and running for quite some time. Meanwhile, Ver is going to throw down another base, and Valkyrie wisely keeping tabs on that gold base. He knows that if he can hold this gold base, he will get the advantage. Throwing down an expansion down here. I wonder why he didn't place it correctly right away, because he will have to walk to actually lift it off. Doing some damage in the main base. This medevac is so close from actually dying. He does manage to drop everything, and they're gonna be pulling back here. This tank is actually gonna get picked off. That is a shame, because you don't want to lose tanks for nothing. And really, Ver has been so cost efficient in his exchange, picking off units where he can. And that is how he has pulled forward in these games, not destroying the rocks just yet. I guess this fourth command center will be used for mules and SCVs for now, or might be going down on this other blue base. Now he's going to push forward with this huge number of tanks. That is 10 tanks. You see the unit counting station, 10 to 9 tanks, 46 to 31 Marines. These have stim, have combat shields, as well as for his opponent, but these have 1-1, and Valkyrie does not have 1-1, so Ver is actually way ahead in this exchange. His Marines are a lot better than his opponent's Marines, and really, this is going to be the tense situation of every regular TVT, where there is just a line of tanks against a line of tanks. And the first one to actually pull a move might be the one who loses, because you can't really unsiege and walk into this huge number of siege tanks. Now, I do think that Ver is going to try and take this gold base, because his command center is now done. He is warping that into an orbital command, taking down these rocks. Valkyrie is well aware of this, and gonna just stick with this position in the middle of the map. So this map really is starting to get divided in two. Now these SCVs long distance mining, while there is no command center there, this one should lift up and drop on this gold base right now. Actually should already be there prepared. These Marines not going to do much, because there is a small group of Marines already ready to intercept this drop. And once again, Valkyrie not doing the damage he should do, although he has had that gold base for quite some time, so his income is going to be slightly better than his opponent's. Throwing down another command center, as well as starting to mine from this fourth base. Sorry, his main is mined out, as well as Ver's. A lot of SCVs actually doing nothing here because it was just mined out. This command center finally gonna land at the gold base, and that is what he needed for quite some time. This army splitting in half, though, this is not good. He might actually get caught his pants down. A group of Marines stimming up here, gonna see what's there, and this is not good by Valkyrie. His units are completely scattered here, and if Ver actually knew this, I think he would just push up here and try to pick off this army while it is not sieged. See these tanks in the red, just 7 tanks in the center of the map here, just fortifying this position. A drop going into Valkyrie's main base, and Ver actually saving these units. So nice move here. One Marine well placed to spot for drops. I love this positioning by Valkyrie. He is now supply blocked though, so he needs a bunch of supply depots right now. Meanwhile, this drop gonna try and do some damage at the natural expansion. There are a couple of tanks here ready to defend though, but he will most likely not lose this drop, or nothing in this drop. He is dropping these Marines, look for them to stim and pick off more SCVs. You can see that Harvester kill tab is equalizing out. 15, 16 Harvesters doing a bit of damage. He will just lift up and go back home at this point. But he did lose 4 Marines, so that is a little blunder by Ver. But he is concentrating in the center of the map, and this small divided group will get picked off, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Ver was able to actually scan this and see that this was very vulnerable, so he did just pick it off at that point. And now Ver has a siege on the gold base. That is not a good thing by Valkyrie, because he won't be able to mine from this. This orbital command is under siege, in danger of actually going down. Meanwhile, Valkyrie is actually going to counterattack into the third base of Ver instead of going for that gold base, because there is a large group of units here, and that is just so many units by Ver. He is now max 200 versus 183 for his opponent. That's going to move up here, and what will Ver actually do? Will he pull back with his Marines and tanks? He is actually going to keep the siege in the center of the map and pull back with a group of units. This command center will go down and sieging up the gold base once again. So very even trade. This gold base is actually out of commission by Valkyrie. Meanwhile, Ver's gold base is actually only mining from half of its potential. These Marines will actually be forced back because of this massive amount of units. We're not paying attention here. Going to lose a tank, not being able to siege him. Going to push forward with these Marines, being able to clear him out. It is now 1-1 versus 2-1 Marines. So Ver still has a small upgrade advantage, but he does have a great position on this third base. And Valkyrie is just going to push straight through here, seeing that there are only 3 tanks. This planetary fortress won't even go down, and that was actually so close. It was 60 health points to dying on that 1,500 points. Ver is now 168 to 154. Supply of this command center is up and potentially mining for Valkyrie, and I don't think that Ver knows about this. And this has been, again, such a back and forth game. Ver still has the supply advantage, and has a huge harvester advantage at this point. But he does not have this third base. He should land it back. He is just this. There's just so much going on here. Huge engagement at the center of the map. Valkyrie has a huge tank number, sieging up everything. He has 13 tanks, while Ver is actually sieging up behind this, cleaning up all the Marines. And now will he actually decide to push forward? Nice drop on top of the tanks by Ver, but great reaction time by Valkyrie, actually unsieging, and Ver unsieged his tanks, and now allowing Valkyrie to actually push forward. Valkyrie has clawed his way back. Supply-wise, he is actually now just ever so slightly ahead, losing a couple of tanks there. But again, this Harvester tab is in favor of Ver, and this has been such a great game. A drop going into the natural base was cleaned up by these tanks from Valkyrie. Another drop at the top base here, just this medevac not doing anything. And I am just going to take another sip of water because this has been so intense. And I've been casting so many games. They will all be up on YouTube, so look for that. One drop being completely annihilated by Valkyrie. So again, a little blunder here by Ver. But these positions are so tough. A couple of FCVs gonna transfer here and gonna tell xSixVer that there is a base up here. And actually, this handful of Marines might do a lot of damage. There are a lot of SCVs here. These tanks could actually siege up, forcing these Marines to actually fall back. And there goes the siege on the tanks, going to be able to pick off all these Marines. And that is a lot of Harvester kills right now. 64 Harvester kills to 41. And he has managed to actually even out the Harvester count. And now Ver has spotted this command center. He should be heading this way to actually clean this up. His Marines are once again 3-2 to only the 1-1 of Valkyrie, his opponent. These tanks going to do huge damage. Valkyrie not sieged up here, so going to take a lot of damage from these tanks. A few Marines pushing forward, going to get obliterated by some shell shots. And Valkyrie actually pushing ahead in this. Again, nice drops by Ver on top of the tanks when there are no more Marines there. And this base is actually being repaired by the SCVs because there is one single Marine hacking away at this, and he should actually target fire the SCV at this point. This is not free. He is losing a bit of money repairing this, but not as so much as he would like to. Another drop coming up here, going to be able to help clean this up. And during that time, Valkyrie just pushing forward with these tanks in the center of the map. And this is so tense. It is such a close game at this point. And this base will eventually go down. But, I mean, one Marine gonna be able to deny this base, at least for now. And this is just a hell of a battle between two Marines getting healed up by medevacs. This is actually quite funny. I think that whoever stims the most will win. I think that Ver actually has the advantage here. You can actually see that this is quite ridiculous. I wonder who's actually going to win. This one is actually getting healed up a bit more, and I have never seen something this ridiculous at this point. This is going to take forever, and meanwhile another drop at the top of the base. These two Marines still hacking at each other. Unfortunately, this Marine might die. This medevac not healing anymore, but no, he is saved by his fellow Marines, and now Ver is forced to pull back. One Marine being healed by the SCV, gonna target fire these by the medevac, gonna target fire the SCVs. And what is up with these single Marines getting healed up to perfect health? And this command center is actually in danger of burning down. He should really repair it with the mules at this point. He is throwing down more mules but not repairing. There he goes. He just now repairs. And this has been so intense. A small drop going down for Ver on top of the tank and doing huge damage. These Marines 3-2 versus 2-2 at this point. No action in the center of the map. Ver is now mined out from the gold base, as is Valkyrie, or almost mined out. He is mining from this third base, so he has 1, 2, and maybe almost 2.5 mining bases. Meanwhile, Valkyrie has 1, 2 bases mining, but only with almost exclusively with mules. So very even game at this point. 168 to 113 supply. So Ver actually pulling forward in the supply. You see this income tab showing that Ver is actually way ahead because of that harvester count. Now getting Terran infantry armor level 3, as well as vehicles weapon level 2, an upgrade that Valkyrie already has. And really, we are taking a small breather in this game because this has been so intense. Finally, it has stabilized. Some drops going down on these tanks for now. Not doing too much damage, but managing to pick off a few tanks is always good. Picking off another tank here might be able to get this one, but is pushed back by reinforcing Marines. Meanwhile, these Marines are going to go up here and try and push this base, but the planetary fortress will easily deny these Marines from doing any kind of damage unless they actually sneak in the back here, but that will be very hard. They are just checking for a gold base. Meanwhile, Valkyrie is going to try and push through the fourth base of Ver, but will get cleaned up quite easily by this tank Marine force. And now it is 87 to 178 supply. And there it is, the GG from Valkyrie. We are going into game 4 of this best of 5 series, so tune in for that.